Okay, gold is above the bands, and the bands are trending higher, so I expect higher prices in gold right now. Take a quick look at cotton here. Okay, cotton came down and made a double bottom here, kind of, well, actually a lower low and then a bullish divergence. And cotton moved above the bands and is trending higher, so odds are with higher prices in cotton. Cattle, and that is February. Live cattle looks higher. Um, Wait for the chart to come up here. Sorry about. Oh, okay, okay. Live cattle made a bull swing here and then a higher test of the low, and it moved back above the bands. And the stochastics shows the momentum is up, so everything's bullish for live cattle for higher prices. And lean hogs are kind of the same boat, I think. We'll look at this chart here in a second. So really, if gold is heading up and the dollar's heading down, most of the again the softs and the meats and the grains will stay bullish. In general, they might go lower a little bit or higher, but in general, it's bullish for the other commodities if gold's going up. Now, lean hogs has traded above the bands, and the bands are starting to move up. So I think lean hogs are going to continue higher from here. We put in 2 bars above the bands, and then a lot of times once it moves above the bands, it'll make this little move down and test, and even come down and test this lower band. But really, lean hogs, everything is shaping up as an uptrend for lean hogs, and this red line is above the green line on stochastics. So stay bullish, lean hogs for right now, and we're long lean hogs in the newsletter. We got long right off the low here, right on this bar. Um, Corn. February is the bearish time seasonally for grains, and corn had a strong bull swing, but now has made a sharp move down. And a lot of times these markets, I'll look for higher lows, and this could make a higher low in corn. But what I think is going to happen, I think it's going to come down below this 1215 low into February sometime down in this area, and then we'll probably make a low in corn and be looking to buy. This could be a higher low forming here, but corn is below the 10-10 bands. The bands are moving lower. Stochastics is bearish. So right now, odds are that the corn will continue lower and the grains will stay bearish, probably in general. Beans, beans move below the bands and are making like a move higher here, and they move below the bands, and then they're making a move higher here, but I think this is just a bear flag. Now, if you draw a little trend line here and it breaks that trend line, I expect beans to continue lower and go back down to this low made in mid-December. The stochastics is still on a sell signal, and again, I'm just expecting the upper band to be resistance here. If beans were to close above the bands and the stochastics would give a buy signal, that could lead to higher bean prices. I mean, you never know. We're just doing the best we can, all the time trying to outguess it. But right now, my guess would be that beans are going to continue lower from here. So beans and corn lower. Wheat, pretty much the same picture. And the meats will often trade opposite the grains, and since the meats are bullish right now, it isn't always the case, but a lot of times, if you'll notice, when the meats are rallying, the grains will be declining, and vice versa. So right now, I think the meats are going to continue higher, and the grains are going to continue lower. Now again, wheat made this low in mid-December here, and it made probably this is just a little bear rally. Even though it was a strong rally, it was probably a bear rally. And then Wheat could be making a higher low here, and if it closed above the bands, we could look for higher prices. But I think wheat's gonna. The last low there in December was 578, so I think beans will probably come. Or we're on wheat now. Sorry, wheat will probably come down to the 570 area. So I'm looking for wheat around 570, even 560, and I think wheat's gonna stay bearish into February. Then we'll take a look at oats real quick, and that'll wrap it up. Oats is right at a double bottom level, and oats could head higher from here. Sometimes oats will lead the other grains, and oats could like move higher and then make a test of the low or something. So a bottom could be in for oats, but right now I would still expect a little more downside for oats. Oats is right at that upper band, which is when in a downtrend is often resistance. If oats moved above the bands here, then it might be a buy. But as long as the bands are down and the other grains are looking bearish, I'll stay bearish on oats too. So that kind of wraps up the overview of the grains for today. So and the rest of those markets that we covered in this video. So thanks a lot for listening to my video. Jim Robinson, ProfitTrading.com.